Okay, well, my name is Sean Sloan. My company is Open Interactive, and today I wanted to show off a project that I'm working on currently. It's for a local commercial contractor, and I'm actually going over there to their office this morning after this meeting directly, and meeting with the owners to show the progress on the site so far. I was up late last night working on it, adding a few of the changes they wanted to see, and I just wanted to show you a few aspects of the site. It's a pretty modern site. Thankfully, commercial construction companies have the budgets to do a fully modern site, and they also have a lot of competition that have nice modern sites. So we kind of looked at what was out there in the marketplace, and they came back to me with some design elements that they wanted to incorporate in their design, and it was up to me to figure out how to do those things and then implement them in the site. And so, the cornerstone of a very visual business like this is excellent photography. They have excellent photographers on staff, and I did a lot of image editing, taking their raw images and sizing them and color correcting them and things like that. It's kind of the background work that a lot of people don't know about. In this kind of work, you really get a strong grounding in Photoshop, and I would consider myself a pretty advanced Photoshop user. And it came into play in this site. There are projects that go back 10 years or more, and so the pictures are old and had to be modernized, and you had to compensate for the old inadequacies of digital cameras at the time, which was that they had smaller image processing chips and smaller lenses. And so there's a thing called barrel distortion that happens on these cameras, and it's something that can be corrected for. And also the overall size of the picture was small, and so they had to be scaled up. And I have actually some artificial intelligence tools that allow me to take old images and scale them up into something that's useful in a modern website. So that's something else I did that's kind of like behind the scenes. So I just wanted to kind of scroll down the homepage here. They wanted to use big bold lettering to kind of bring attention to things, a little bit more putting themselves out there. Then also this angled aspect, it's a design element called asymmetry, and it's becoming a little bit more common in sites. Sites have a tendency to be very block oriented, and it has to do with how they're put together in the back end. But it can be kind of limiting for design, and so they wanted to have these angled elements to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. Again, the homepage features this, what is a description of the different categories of business in which they do, and so this uses what's known as a Ken Burns effect. You probably have seen Ken Burns, the documentarian. He uses a lot of photographs that, in his documentaries, and when presenting them in film, to make them interesting, you can make them move. And so this is, an example of the Ken Burns effect applied to, standard photos to give them, a little bit more something interesting to look at. And so this is a Instagram feed. It's probably not connected to the internet, which is why it's doing that. Okay, so then they have a okay, I'll go to this page next. It wants me to. This is a style of testimonial that they saw on a competitor's site, and they liked it so much they said, "We want to copy that." And so In modern web design, there is, in the back end, what are known as page building plugins or page building applications that help you construct these things. They're made up of lots of complex elements, and so the more that you can systematize it, the faster development is. So I tried using the testimonial plugin it's a testimonial module to see if it gave something useful, and it came close, but it didn't do it exactly right. So thankfully, I'm a person that learned HTML and CSS and PHP back in the old days when websites were built with just code, and so I know how to find and figure out the design elements and make them just so what is described as pixel perfect design. And so I was able to duplicate the testimonial style that they liked and bring it into the site for them. Okay, so then we have to click on this. So this is an example of a team member individual page, and this was something that they, again, had in their existing site but wanted to carry forward, and so I was able to do that for them. Let me bring it up. I hope this is going to work. I thought I had it already. This might not work. I'm gonna go on to the featured project area because I'm not connected to the internet. Okay, so this is where the largest amount of learning went on for me. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. What I'm doing here is something that I should have done before, and I want to apologize. So, right off the bat, I thought I could get away without connecting to the internet based on the pages being cached on my local computer, but I don't think that's the case. Yeah, I got the hotspot on. Okay, so what looks like a simple gallery from the front end, from the observer's end of things, is actually more involved, and it deserves a little bit of explanation. And this is where some of my learning came in on this job. These are what are known as cards, and they are representative of a post, which is essentially a page that represents each of these projects behind them. And so they wanted to be able to, to look at things based on the category. Okay, so now I can show you the sorting capacity. So essentially, this allows for large amounts of, complicated data to be represented in various ways. And so this is a work in progress. I had it farther along, but then last minute, of course, they changed the way in which they wanted it to appear. And this selector here was based on the square footage of the project. And so, you had anything from, 10,000 square feet up to projects that were 100,000 square feet and over. And so they changed this. They wanted now to be location. Well, that required me to do a bunch of stuff in the back end, and so that's not fixed yet. They also are going to have a search function here where people can search for something based on keywords, and that is also a new addition that wasn't included in the original project. But I can do those things, and this kind of demonstrates the utility of this, so that you can bring up totally different projects. And here's some large ones. This is a local parking structure that also has a rec deck on top of it. And so if they have a testimonial from a customer, the testimonial portion will appear right in this. It'll expand and open to accept the testimonial. They wanted that element in the site, and they're going to have more testimonials. Then, okay, this is loading slowly. Then there's a really nice flattering photo gallery, and like literally I've gone through every one of the hundreds of images in this site to make sure that it flatters them. And the overall effect of it is kind of impressive, and I think they're going to be very happy with it. I already know they're very happy with it.
That's great.
So then I want to go back to the team members page. Here it is. Okay. So this was another thing, and again, this uses what they're known as grids and facets. And so a grid is just a collection of information based on a certain category that's assigned to it. So these people are all assigned team member categories, and so then this grid appears in the team page because I use essentially the grid element. And so they wanted to kind of duplicate what had come before it, in that there was a fun picture behind a serious portrait of the team member. And so when you roll over the person, it shows their fun picture, and then if you click on it, it goes into the team member page, which is something that I kind of showed you before. And so then of course they wanted it to be sorted with the owners at the top, and then alphabetical by first name from there. So that's an interesting challenge. But the end result is that you have something that really is good looking. I mean, they improved the design in their original site. They wanted to bring it forward. It was up to me to figure it out how to make it look the best, and so that's what I did.
Nice.
And I love to learn new things. I think that supposedly learning new things is good for our aging brains. I have one. And so I try to keep it as nimble and supple as possible with all this new learning. And I would like to bring my nimble, supple brain to work for you and any referrals that you would like to offer me. So my name again is Sloan, and my company is Open Interactive. I do website development and online marketing.
Question. So obviously, which is a great job, you literally went in and created this whole site for them. Mm-hmm. Do you do, like a la carte type of charges? They already have an existing site, but they want to add a feature or two. Do you do a la carte?
Sure. Yeah. So it's always a question of it depends. But yes, what I like to tell people is that I try to meet them where they are, and I don't try to do the one-size-fits-all gold-plated project proposal for people. It's like I think that being a generalist has allowed me to survive thus far in an economy that has included multiple downturns. And knowing a little bit of everything, including print design, photography, video editing, all of these things, has helped me to survive and thrive through all kinds of markets. So the answer is, I would love to talk to them. It often leads to other work when they find out that I can do these things and they can get it all in one place. I'm usually pretty happy about it. I am in essence a small agency in myself. Any other questions? Yes, Jordan?
First, congratulations on the website. It looks amazing. It looks good.
Yes.
Something that I would expect a major corporation to do, so that's great.
Yep.
If there's somebody who's starting a business and hasn't gotten a website developed yet, how far do you recommend that they go in developing the website, and how much money, like for instance, you've got all these beautiful photos on here. Mm-hmm. Somebody who just started their business probably hasn't invested in professional photos yet.
Right.
How much would you recommend, not only with the website on a foundational level, but how much would you recommend investing in the photos and anything else like that?
Well, so I have a client, this is a perfect example. a client, they have multiple cannabis-oriented businesses around the state, but they didn't have a website. And so they were going and applying for licenses in different jurisdictions, and the people were going online and saying, oh, we're looking up Dispo Store, and we don't find you guys online. And it became a problem for them. So we created, just a simple one-page site while the bigger site is being developed. You could start with something as simple as a single page, and I can help people do that. And it helps to stake out the territory, on the web, and it actually helps you long term. The sooner you get on there, it will help you search engine wise to be found by people. So I say it's never too soon to basically stake out your homestead on the internet. Any other questions? Okay, well,
Nice.
Thank you very much for your time and your kind attention, and please think of me whenever you hear people talking about web development or online marketing. I would love the opportunity to at least talk to them, and then take it from there. Maybe it'll be a long-term relationship. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.